Okay, this is Antonio Mejorado, and this is the introduction to arrays in Scilab. Here you have the console, and if you say IR values parentheses 3 equals 4, then you will see that you have an array of 3 elements where the third element has a 4. Okay, so using parentheses after the name of something, you will declare some specific position in that supposed to be array. Okay, so an array uh, is a data that has more than one value in the same variable. So we specify the position inside that array by using a number. So if I say IR values parentheses 3, I'm referring to 4. If I say IR values parentheses parentheses 2 equals to negative 3, then you have in the second position a negative value. So when you use an array in Scilab, you can use the function length with that array, and length gives you length IR values. Length gives you the number of elements inside. Okay, so you may use operations between these elements, so you can have IR values parentheses 1 equals let me change the value. Okay, now I have in the first position a 5. So if I say IR values parentheses 1 plus IR values parentheses 3, I'm using a 5. I'm adding a 5 to a 4 because the first element in this array is a 5 and the third element is a 4, so you have a 9. Okay, 5 plus a 4, you have a 9. Okay, so we can have a program where you ask the user for a number. So we can have a IN equals input, enter number of elements, and using a loop we can get let me say I'm getting the number of elements. So using a loop you can get values into the array. Okay, so using a for any variable equals 1 to the number given by the user, you can get a value and store that value into the array in I position. So you have to be very careful anytime you're using an array. Now when you declare IR, let's put another name, IR numbers parentheses I equals input. I'm trying to store a value, enter number. Actually, why don't we use I, the string I? So that will display the message enter number plus a number, in this case 1, 2, 3 until the number given by the user. So I is very important now because I not only is the for loop variable, but is the variable that gives us the position in the array. So it gives 1, 2, 3 and so on until n. So after that, if I display the whole array, IR numbers, I'm sorry, I gotta display. If I display that array, see what happens. Okay, so Let me save this program. And let me go to my console, and it says enter number of elements. Let's suppose that I give 3. So number 1 will be 5, number 2 will be 10, number 3 will be -5. So if I display the array, I have a 5, a 10, and a -5. Okay? So if I run this program again, but only giving 2 values, I will run it. Now I given 2 values, A1 and A2. If I display the array, see what happens. I have this array in the beginning. I didn't clear the memory, so I got 2 elements. So I have 1 and 2, but I still have the -5. So we have to be very careful. So as always, as a suggestion, clear the memory. So if you run the program, you won't see any previous value. So if I put a 2 and a 10 and a 20, I have a 10 and a 20 only. Okay? So this is the way we can use an array in a program, by having this I, which is the position in the array, and you can display the values, the whole array, by having this array IR numbers. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial on the introduction to arrays. See you in the next tutorial. Thank you.